Well, hey there, gang. It's Jim
And Christy.
Jacobus with your Marriage Matters podcast and the Cupid Challenge 2020. Babe, you familiar with the Serenity Prayer?
The Serenity Prayer goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
The courage to change the things that I can.
And
the wisdom to know the difference between the two.
Exactly.
So today our word, baby, is?
Acceptance.
Absolutely. And when we think about the word acceptance, we have this little thing that sits on our shelf here. It says, with God, even mornings are possible. And babe, what's the connotation behind that?
Well, around our house, I'm not known as a morning person. And Jim's oftentimes said,
I'm wide awake at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Christy's not a Christian until 9 o'clock. So.
One of the things we have to look at is how we can accept the differences that our spouse brings to the table.
Absolutely. And we have lots of differences, and we know that you do too. But we have differences in time. Okay. Mm-hmm. I am a Lombardi time person, which means 15 minutes early is on time. And if you don't know who Lombardi is, then look it up. Vince Lombardi. And Christy's more of a
ish
person.
Which means if you tell me to be there at 7 and it's not something that's critical to be there on time, I'll be there 7-ish.
All right. And you may have differences of spender versus saver, as Dave Ramsey talks about, maybe differences of introvert versus extrovert. Mm-hmm. And so, but when you think about the differences, what are some of the things that we've learned from each other, say, for instance, on time?
Well, there are pluses and minuses to having different orientations to time mm-hmm. or energy or different things like that. So what we've had to do is make accommodations. I cannot change some of the things that you bring to the table, nor would I.
Right.
There are things, though, that we've had to adapt and change within ourselves to make our team work better.
Right.
And so what do you think?
Well, that again, the word is acceptance. And so one of the things that I think is important in a marriage or in a relationship is I accept that you're different from me, and even have gotten to the place over the years of celebrating those differences. And one of the things I think is really important is for us to take a look at all of these things where we're polar opposites and go, what are the strengths that come with the ish time? Mm-hmm. And the strengths are not so stressed out. There are times when we don't have to be there 30 minutes early. But also there's times when we do need to be there early. We need to plan way ahead to make sure that if something comes up like traffic, we're definitely still going to be on time. Right. And reality is that acceptance means I accept the way you are. I celebrate the way you are. And then we go, okay, what can I learn from this? All right. What are the pluses of being an introvert versus extrovert? What are the minuses of being an extrovert versus an introvert? And so our homework for today is,
what we're going to ask everybody to do is write down one thing that you and your spouse differ on, and take an opportunity to really look at things that could cause disagreements or problems within your relationship, and say, okay, what are the pluses and what are the minuses in the way that we approach a situation or the way that we're different? And then use an opportunity to say, okay, what are we going to do to improve our relationship by looking at this? But the bottom line and the word that we want to take into consideration is the word acceptance.
Absolutely. So there is your challenge for today. Look at something that you're polar opposites in, and you know what they are. All right. It could be time, could be introvert, it could be any number of things, but you know what they are. Sit down and write down what are all the pluses of one side and what are the pluses of the other side. What are the minuses of each side? And then ask yourself, how can we take advantage of the pluses and how do we minimize the minuses? That's your challenge for today. We'll catch you tomorrow on the Cupid Challenge 2020. Take care, gang.